fraught with confusion. One man will break his silence.
Hello, I'm Paul Duncan, also known as Mr. Moderator, and today I want to talk about enforcing the rules. This question has come up several times by many people asking me, how do you enforce the rules? Is it hard? And yes and no. If the group has clear guidelines, it's not that hard to enforce them. Depending on whether you're looking at from a stream standpoint, if you're moderating, say, a Facebook group, it's a little bit different. From a stream, it's fairly cut and dry. Basically, you're looking for spam messages. Those are going to go out the door right away. As far as comments that people make, get accustomed to what the content creator allows. You start using your personal judgment in those areas for removing comments. As I've mentioned in other episodes, you can always talk to the content creator afterwards, especially if you're hiding them from the group, because in a live stream on YouTube, once you hide the person, they're hidden until the content creator goes in and removes them. So if you hide somebody, you should probably reach out to the content creator and let them know the circumstances. That way they can decide if they want to let the person back in or not. Because as I said, once you hit the button to hide them, they're gone until the content creator goes into their studio back end and clears that person from the hit list. When it comes to a Facebook group, it starts getting a little touchier. I moderate for some Facebook groups where there are no basic rules, unless it's, some kind of crazy advertisements or, something that's showing harm to somebody. Pretty much anything is allowed in the group. It's there for people to be able to post what they're doing and share it with the community. Another group that I moderate for, it's a little more strict. They have very clear group guidelines that you have to agree to when you join the group. You cannot self-promote. There's some very clear-cut guidelines, but even at that, sometimes it's difficult to do. And there are situations where it's very clear and dry. There's other times where you may question it. And I frequently will type in a back channel with the other moderators and ask them what they think about a posting or something before I actually remove it. And sometimes we can remove it and give the person a warning. And then if they continue to do this multiple times, then they get their post gets removed. They actually get banned from the group and they can't come back in. As I said, it's a good idea to kind of talk to the people on the back end, the other moderators or even the admins of the site, to get their opinion and see what you should do. Sometimes it's very clear and dry as to what to do. Sometimes it's a little more iffy. There's even situations where other people who've been around for a long time kind of get the impression that they can stretch the rules. It's kind of like the little kids. They push the rules as much as they possibly can to see how, if mommy and daddy are going to slap their hands. We see this in the Facebook groups too. People try to push the rules because they've been around for a long time and think that they have some rights to do this. We have to be very firm with everybody. I cannot block somebody for posting something and then turn around to somebody else and say, well, they can do it, but you can't. And it's not fair. And we're faced with this quite frequently. And there have been lots of discussions on back channels of Facebook groups that I support over this whole conversation of, if we're going to do it for one, we have to do it for the other. And as groups get large in size, you have to be a little bit more strict. Otherwise, it's going to be a field day unless you don't care if it goes, people post whatever they want. If you're going to have guidelines, you really have to enforce them and stand by them. And when I do delete somebody or, take action against somebody, if it's not really clear the reason for it, I will go into Messenger and I will communicate with them directly and say, I just wanted to explain to you why this happened. Sometimes I get kickback. I've been called all kinds of names by some people, and it's like, sorry, it's the way it is. It's part of the job. And it's not always easy, but as I've said previously, don't moderate in a vacuum. Talk to other people. If you're not sure about something, ask. I will sometimes say, I think this is this, but I'm trying to make sure that it's just not something that some feeling I have or that is coming out to this, and what I'm seeing or thinking about this is valid and not an opinion of mine. You want to be careful. You want to communicate with other people. One of the groups that I deal with, we have a private Discord channel, and anytime that we take action against somebody, we post that in this Discord channel, the action that's taken, so that we can come back and see. Also, in a Facebook group, you can add notes when you take actions on somebody. I'm in the process of putting an episode together, going into more detail on Facebook group and what's involved. And so we'll talk about that more. But you can put comments when you take action against somebody so that the other moderators or the admins of the sites can understand why you did what you did. There's lots of little things to help you along the way. As I said, if you're concerned about something or something, ask other moderators in the group. Get some feedback from other people. Don't moderate in a vacuum. You need to uphold whatever rules and regulations have been set for the group. And if you have questions about some of the rules, ask about them. Moderating is subjective. There's a human being pushing the button when somebody is moderating, and we are not always right. Sometimes we make mistakes. Things happen. Sometimes it's even hitting the wrong button by accident. I've had to deal with that. I inadvertently removed somebody's posting one time by accident, and went back to them and said, I am sorry, this was completely and totally my fault. Please repost it, those types of things. So if you make a mistake, admit it. Talk to the person, reach out, don't be afraid. What are they going to do? Call you names? I've been called names before. Just do the best you can. You have to make decisions, go with it. And if you make a mistake, own up to it. You screwed up, apologize, and move forward. I hope this gives you a better understanding of, enforcing the rules and what it's like. It's not always easy. There are times when I've made decisions and it was not easy for me to make that decision, but it was the requirements of the group, and it had to be done. As always, if you want me to clarify anything or, dig into anything deeper, please put it in the comments below. If there's ideas or topics or something that you would like me to cover in future episodes, please put that in the comments below and we'll take care of it. And with that, I want to thank you, and we'll see you on the next episode.